Welcome to the PodFather and the SKOOL community. And I know I've mentioned that the different microphones that I use, and I have some episodes going up, but I have a friend that's here today that's going to talk about mixers, but I'll just show mine. Mine is an Audio Technics 2020, and it's a USB, and that's the sticks I use. And I also use the Audio Technics earphones, and I mentioned about why I do that. But a lot of the times that when I've have conversations with people, if they have mixers, a lot of them have technical problems. I've done a lot of shows with my friend Chris here because he's got a mixer, got a fantastic sound system, and I I just want him to share how it works. You can also mention about the mic you're using in the earphones, but he'll actually kind of talk you through how the system works. So if you decide you'd like to have a mixer, you'll be able to do it. So welcome, Chris.
Cheers, Ray. Thanks for having me on for a few moments. The podcast or the mixer that I've been using for many years, pretty much all the podcasts done in the past, anything that was done at Roy was done through this actual mixer here, which is called the Zoom H6 Handy Recorder. It is quite a few years old, but don't let that deter you from what it is, because I think it's a phenomenal mixer. It's never let me down. It's always literally just, and it's so user friendly, which is great for people, newbies or anybody starting off. It's so user friendly. There's so much stuff you can actually do with this. Just quickly go through some of the buttons briefly on it. Is what I'm actually set up at the moment, and actually talking through Roy as we're talking through Zoom. I'm actually set up with the microphone here at the minute, but my actual headphones is actually plugged into this actual mixer itself. Out the far side of the mixer is a micro or mini USB cable, which literally goes from the mixer straight into the laptop. And on top of that, then the actual microphone itself, which comes off an XLR lead, you can see on the side of these 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs on it. And when you actually plug this XLR cable from your microphone into it, you can actually use a phantom power if your microphone needs a phantom power. My microphone doesn't need a phantom power, but you have that option.
What does phantom power mean? I haven't come across that.
It's basically, from what I understand, it's you get microphones that, well, as I said, they do and they don't need it, but phantom power simply is that it needs an extra boost on it. So if you're basically almost like a preamp, should we say, so if you plug it straight into the actual mixer itself, a certain microphone, it won't work. And if you wonder why is there no sound or connection coming through, but when you actually go into the settings on the mixer itself, and you can go phantom power plus 48, it is, I believe, on it. I don't need it, so I never really use it, but there's the option there for people who might have a different microphone than what I have, and they'll have the option there instead of kind of going, oh, I bought this lovely mixer, paid loads of money for this stuff, I plugged in my microphone, and all of a sudden I'm hearing nothing. It does give you that option because it almost has a preamp built into the actual mixer itself, an on and off button per se on the scroll down menu if you do actually need to use the option, which is great. So you're not getting separate boxes connected to the actual mixer to boost what you're actually putting into it. When, for simple terms then, when the actual microphone is connected up to it, I've plugged into channel 1, let's call it. So on channel 1, then I basically press, simply, it's user friendly, just press 1 on what it is, and the levels shall be coming through on this. So you can actually should be able to see the levels going up and down, a green light, and that can actually be controlled by this button up here. Just go simply up or down to actually suit the level of what you need on it. You also have on it these little buttons here, these tiny little buttons that are on it. They're like a plus or minus 20, or minus 20, I believe. It's on it like a pad button, they rectify it as. And that is simply, if you plug in, you can plug in instruments to this as well. So simply just enough to your microphone, you can actually plug a guitar straight into it. You could plug, now when I say guitar, the guitar depends on if the guitar has a preamp as well. It might or may not. If the guitar can't be plugged directly into it, this is what you'll know from the manufacturer due to the guitar you'll have itself and the spec on it. Not all fails. What you'll call is a DI box. You'll have a separate DI box for that can be plugged guitar via DI box and into the actual mixer itself. That's a separate thing for it, but it's just to let you know there's an option there for instruments to be actually plugged directly into it. And yeah, as I said, it just shows up in channel 1. You control it from up there. The pad button, just to touch on that basis, if something was being plugged into this and it was just reading too high, the signal was coming in. It could be from a mixer desk. You plugged in from a live mixing desk out in a venue if you wanted to. And if you felt the signal coming into your box, it's just too loud, it's too grainy, it's too high level, I can basically switch the pad button and it just drops it down straight away. And it gives me just a nicer kind of sound to deal with. This isn't peaking massively into the red and you're out of control. So it gives you a little option on that to actually do that, which is great. I don't really have to do. Most people generally wouldn't have to do it when we're just doing a talk like this. It really comes into where you're using instruments and louder equipment per se coming into it.
And just while you're, because you mentioned the 4 sockets, does that mean like if you have like say 2 people that you can have the other mic plugging into the other side, or if there's 4 people, if you have a table of 4 people, you can have 4 mics all going through that?
Yeah, correct, 100%. And actually, which is a bit deceiving on this one, I don't have it on at the moment, but there is an actual mount. This actually comes off up here. There is a mount on that. So essentially, what you can do with that is 2 options on the top.
You might just hold it up a little bit there, because it's hard to say. Just hold it up another little bit, the thing you were showing. Okay, that mount
so
there.
Yeah, so I'll show on the top of this. I don't know, can you see the top of that?
You have to hold it up a little bit. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So the top of that essentially is 2 options on that. You can have a tiny little ball of a microphone that clips into it. It comes from Zoom itself, or you can get what they call, I think it's a XY microphone, which goes in 2 directions. And you can have it out in a field, or you can have it out anywhere. That's the thing, you can beauty with it. You can bring it anywhere you want with you, and you can set it up. And literally, I could go up to somebody in the street and literally go, "Here, can you talk into that?" And I can directly record the sound into that from the top of that microphone. But getting back to what you were saying is, yes, there's 4 XLR inputs on it for argument's sake, but you can also have an adapter on the top of it, and you can actually end up with 6 if you wanted 6 on it. But for simple terms, yes, you can use the 4 of these. Simple. If we were out and say we wanted to go through a hall, and I wanted to go into some back room, and I wanted to get like 4 guys to record them quickly in this quiet room, I would simply bring in this machine with me. It has, which I didn't show you, but it has on the side, if I can open it up here, it has, if you can see that, basically it has an SD card slot that goes into it. And that SD card slot, obviously as it is, you can basically record 4 people for argument's sake. So these 4 XLR leads, microphones can be plugged into this. You can set them up in the room and basically drop in your SD card, and you go to different channels, make sure your channels are on. You can check your levels coming in. You can check your levels accordingly. One person might be talking way louder than somebody else, and you can tone them down to what they are so they're not peaking. And you can also, the other beauty of it as well is you can actually have it all on a separate file. And you can actually, in the settings on this as well, you can basically go into different folders. So you have a folder for each kind of person, or you can have it as a group per se. And when the recording is done, as I say, it's self-explanatory on the buttons itself. You've got,
so you can actually record from the device. You don't have to be using software on your computer.
No, you can completely forget about a computer. You don't have to plug it into walls. You don't have to plug it into any other external devices. This little small machine can actually go with you in your backpack and wherever it is. You can bring it to your hall. Obviously, if you have to bring your microphones and cables with you and stuff, and just simply an SD card. You have 2 options. People might say, well, how do I charge it? How does it connect up? Does it run out of battery? What's the run time? Because we see from a lot of good, even cameras there on the market, recording video, you might go up to 30 minutes max, and all of a sudden it shuts down. And if you go back to the recorder, press it again, With this machine, you don't have to. I haven't tested the longevity of what it is, but from other people I know, they reckon it's, and Zoom itself says you can go over 20 hours straight recording. I mean, that's, who's going to record over 20 hours straight kind of in one go without going back to the machine, pressing stop, start, play again, all that kind of stuff. It's all recorded on your SD card. And at the back, I'll show you at the back, you can have 4 batteries.
Okay, so you don't need the mains. You can use.
So you don't need mains, but you do have an option for mains. If you want a mains option, you can have it. But you can also just put in the 4 batteries into the back of it. They're AA batteries, and pretty much away you go. You've that recorded. The other thing is a little to turn it on. It might sound self-explanatory, but there's no on button per se actually described on it. But if you can see, I don't know if you can see around here.
Yeah.
There's a button there that says hold on it. That's simply when you get the machine itself, you simply push it one way, hold it for about 2 seconds, let it go, the device comes on. There's also a little handy gadget on it. If you're doing a recording in the setting we're saying and all the leads are mic'd up and people are talking in a room, and for argument's sake, you're around it and you touch off a button, for argument's sake, and you're, oh damn it, I'm after hitting stop on the recording, now it's just a few seconds going to be cut out. That hold button that you turned on the machine with Once that's actually recording, you can press that to one side and actually locks in position. So no matter how much I press these buttons here, record again or whatever, nothing will happen, because until you unlock it at the side. So that's a pretty nifty little thing just to have on the side and not to interfere in anything, people messing with buttons. That's kind of
You might show us the
just
symbol, because when you were holding up, we did, like, if you could show us up the glass part, the screen display. Yeah. So what exactly do people see in that, and how can they? What's included in that? Is it just what you see now? Because I can see your volume going up as I'm speaking.
You can see the volume as I'm talking going up and down, and that's in line 1. If we obviously have 4 of these connected into line 4 different lines, you'd see the bar going up 4 different times, different levels. You can have a stereo mix on it, or you can have like a mono mix, essentially. So you can have it in what it means, essentially, if you hook back into your recording device later, if it was on Final Cut Pro or whatever your video editing software is later on, you can have it on one file going across the screen, or you could have it on separate files going across the screen. Which is handy maybe for some people what it is, but the other options you can kind of see on it, if I can show you, if we go into the menu button, which is on the side here as well, where that micro little USB is, if I go into the menu button, 1 second, there's a whole host of things you can actually see when you come down this menu button. I know it's a bit awkward here, but don't know if you can see, when I'm pressing this button on the side, I'll get to show you in a second, it essentially, you can just go down to so many,
all the different, you've got a lot of different
configurations and stuff that you can actually go through on it. It'll give you an SD card option to sync with, it'll give you microphone options, it'll give you the actual file itself and what the folders are. So you might have certain folders, and when you actually go back to the house, you might have done 4 separate records of 4 different venues that day. You go back and you kind of go, file 1 was this crowd, file 2 was actually a guitar and bass setting or something, we're doing recording instruments and all that. So when you go back to the system, it's all labeled and numbered. You load it onto your laptop, it'll come up as Zoom 01, maybe Zoom 02 file, whatever it is, and you just click into what it is, and you can just go directly into your editing your recording as it is. It's pretty much that.
So basically you use your SD card and you don't need the voice anymore after that, once you've transferred.
Once you come home, you have your device off, take out your SD card and basically put it into the side of your laptop. If you want to as well, you can also, because some people mightn't have card readers or whatever the case may be, or some certain laptops might be able to directly put an SD card into the side of their laptop. You can have another option where you can actually use the micro USB or USB, should we say, option that I have into the side. This is connected to the computer. That can connect straight into your computer as well, if you want to. So you can actually download it from the device onto your actual laptop as well, if you didn't get it off the SD card. So it's a pretty it's a pretty cool machine for it does more and beyond what the average, let's say, podcaster would actually need it for. There's so much functions and so much stuff to do on what it is, and I said it's pretty user friendly, which is good. And you don't need all these like separate apps or separate things to download or connect Bluetooth to or anything else on top of it. As it's just what I showed you, can pretty much just go straight into as it is. So I'm sure there's lots of more things that maybe I've left out, but that kind of gives you probably a good overall basis.
It's fantastic. And the name again of the device is what?
It's called the Zoom H6 Handy Recorder.
And the company is Zoom.
You can see it actually just wrote across the...
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Handy recorder. And I know prices change a lot with technology, but approximately what kind of price point are they?
I think, I must have this, surely 5 years to say it's definitely, and I think at the time it would have been somewhere in the, probably sterling wise, probably somewhere in the £300 to £400 bracket. Could be in a bit more. I think they've gone down a small bit, but they're not like, there are the updated model, the newer version. You can get one now that already has the 6 as it is. You don't have to get adapters. Some of that is getting a bit excessive. It's not needed. I find that anything that's on this, the bells and whistles that they already have in this, I wouldn't need the updated version. It doesn't do anything for me, shall we say. And I said it's never let me down. There's never issues with it. Use it for years. And it's, listen to other guys that use it, they said it's hands down, this has just been an amazing piece of equipment. For what it is, you pay a couple of £100 and the amount of stuff you can do. You can have it at your own desk, what we're doing now through this, or it says you can bring it out in the field, you can bring it with you, and it's so small and compact at the same time that it's just a great all around little device, yeah, as far as little mixers go.
Well, brilliant. And I'm not sure if you mentioned it at the start, but what's the mic that you have?
Yeah, the mic actually, and it's been a while since I used my mic. It's called the RE. It's EV, which is basically EV RE 320. That's the name. It's not a Rode. It's a separate, or it's not a Zoom.
Yeah, but it's good quality. Like
It's good quality. Yeah, I mean, lots of high-level music artists have used this one. Same thing again. I think I paid a couple of £100 for it. Obviously, you can get cheap ones for £100 or whatever it is. But this was, I don't know, it's definitely a couple of £100. It's been out many, many years, but lots of signed artists have even used this in their recording. So it is regarded as a very high-level microphone. Not just a low-level budget type one, even if you want to do just small-level podcasting. Same thing again. I've never had issues with it. It's just work. Turn it on, it works. Plug it in. That's it. Away you go. Yes, you can get cheap ones, more expensive ones, but I've just found this one to be really good every time. So yeah, that's.
And I mean, we've done I don't know how many shows because we done I don't know 30, 40 together, and we never had any issues. We done lives together with a group of other podcasters, and it was always good quality.
Yeah, that's the one thing I say. It's always been good quality with it. I've never had any bad feedback saying, "Oh, the microphone is grainy," or "It's letting you down," or "There's bad low end," or something on it. It's just it's been good, yeah.
No, excellent. Listen, Chris, thoroughly appreciate your time and sharing with the mixer. It's fantastic information, so I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks a lot for having me on, right? It's been great.
Okay, see ya. Take care. Just for the listeners, I mean, some people might be using different mixers. If you want to send the recording and send it in to me, you can do that. Or if you want to do a recording with me also, if you've got something totally different to that, I welcome it. Until next week, take care.